1. Regardless of technology or the speed of innovation, people are still people. And all the rules of humanity still apply. Here's what that really means. Despite advancements, fundamental human nature, needs, and social dynamics remain constant. Basic principles of empathy, trust, and connection are always relevant. 2. Our choices reveal our intentions. This quote reminds us that a person's true motivations and underlying desires are ultimately demonstrated not by their words, but by the decisions and actions they take. 3. The true value of networking doesn't come from how many people we can meet, but rather how many people we can introduce to others. Here's what that really means. The real benefit of building connections lies in facilitating relationships for others and being a connector, rather than just accumulating contacts for oneself. 4. Bad marketing values promotions. Good marketing promotes values. This quote reminds us that ineffective marketing focuses purely on superficial sales tactics, while effective marketing communicates genuine principles, beliefs, and benefits to connect with customers. 5. Experts are the ones who think they know everything. Geniuses are the ones who know they don't. Here's what that really means. True intelligence is characterized by a humble recognition of one's own limitations and a continuous thirst for learning, unlike the closed-mindedness of a mere expert. 6. The more we focus on what our competition is doing, the less we're focused on what we're doing. This quote reminds us that excessive preoccupation with rivals diverts attention and resources away from one's own core strengths, innovations, and internal development. 7. Creating something new is easy. Creating something that can last is the challenge. Here's what that really means. Generating novel ideas or initial products is relatively simple, but building something durable, sustainable, and impactful over time requires far greater effort and skill. 8. Start with why. This quote reminds us that you should begin any endeavor or communication by clearly articulating your fundamental purpose or belief, as this inspires and connects with others on a deeper level. 9. Progress is fueled by the undying belief that the future is bright. Here's what that really means. Forward movement and societal advancement are driven by an enduring optimism and conviction that positive outcomes and improvements are possible. 10. The best leaders are also the best followers. They follow a purpose, cause, or belief bigger than themselves. This quote reminds us that truly great leaders aren't just about commanding. They are also exceptional at committing to and serving a vision or mission that transcends their own self-interest. 11. The greatest contribution of a leader is to make others leaders. Here's what that really means. The ultimate mark of effective leadership is its ability to empower, develop, and inspire others to become capable leaders themselves, fostering growth throughout an organization. 12. Life is beautiful not because of the things we see or the things we do. Life is beautiful because of the people we meet. This quote reminds us that the true richness and joy of life derive primarily from the meaningful connections and relationships we form with other individuals, rather than from material possessions or personal achievements. 13. Good marketing speaks to us. Bad marketing speaks at us. Here's what that really means. Effective marketing engages with the audience on a personal level, understanding their needs and desires, while ineffective marketing merely broadcasts messages without genuine connection. 14. It's better to go slowly in the right direction than to go speeding off in the wrong direction. This quote reminds us that taking a gradual but correct path towards your goals is always preferable to moving quickly but heading towards an incorrect or detrimental outcome. Precision over speed. 15. Offer your strengths to others and you will be amazed how many people offer their strengths to you. Here's what that really means. By generously sharing your abilities and talents to help others, you will find that people are often willing to reciprocate and offer their own support in return. 16. The most accurate tool for measuring trust is human intuition. This quote reminds us that, while data and logic have their place, the deepest and most reliable gauge of trustworthiness in a relationship is often your innate gut feeling or instinct about a person. 17. Appreciate when things go awry. It makes for a better story to share later. Here's what that really means. View unexpected problems or failures as valuable experiences that, while difficult at the moment, will ultimately provide interesting lessons and engaging narratives for the future. 18. Selfish is easy. It's sharing that takes courage. This quote reminds us that acting purely out of self-interest is often the simpler path, whereas true bravery lies in the generosity of sharing, which requires overcoming personal desires for the benefit of others. 19. The mind can be convinced, but the heart must be won. Here's what that really means. You can logically persuade someone's intellect, but to truly gain their commitment, loyalty, or trust, you must appeal to their emotions and values. 20. A weak leader likes to tell us how many people work for them. A great leader is humbled to tell us how many people they work for. This quote reminds us that ineffective leaders emphasize their authority over subordinates, whereas strong leaders understand their role is to serve and support their team members. 21. The value of emotions comes from sharing them, not simply having them. Here's what that really means. Feelings gain their true significance and purpose when they are expressed and communicated, rather than being kept private or unacknowledged. 22. Strong leaders are long on vision. Weak leaders are short on sight. This quote reminds us that effective leaders possess a clear, far-reaching strategic outlook, while ineffective leaders are confined to short-term thinking and lack foresight. 23. Too many modern companies have replaced a person with a number and mistakenly called that number a customer. Here's what that really means. This criticizes the dehumanizing tendency of businesses to reduce individuals to mere statistics, losing sight of the personal relationship with their customers. 24. Giving can be as simple as saying thank you to someone and meaning it. We should all give a little more. This quote reminds us that acts of generosity don't always require grand gestures. Simple, heartfelt expressions of gratitude are a powerful form of giving that everyone can practice more often. 25. Our passion lies deep in who we are, not what we do. Here's what that really means. True passion originates from our core identity and values, not merely from the tasks or activities we engage in. It's about intrinsic motivation. 26. Strong relationships are based on trust and communication. But if there is no communication, there can be no trust. This quote reminds us that healthy connections require both faith and openness, but the absence of honest dialogue makes genuine trust impossible to build or maintain. 27. To ask, "What's best for me?" is finite thinking. To ask, "What's best for us?" is infinite thinking. Here's what that really means. Focusing solely on personal gain leads to limited, short-term perspectives, while considering the collective well-being fosters expansive, long-term, and sustainable solutions. 28. Admire those who admire others. This quote reminds us that you should appreciate individuals who are themselves capable of recognizing and valuing the positive qualities in other people, as this indicates a generous and insightful character. 29. If we want people to speak to us honestly, we must be willing to honestly listen. Here's what that really means. To encourage genuine candor from others, you must demonstrate a sincere willingness to hear and consider what they say without judgment or defensiveness. 30. Most of us live our lives by accident. We live it as it happens. Fulfillment comes when we live our lives on purpose. This quote reminds us that many people navigate life passively, reacting to events, but true contentment and meaning are found when one actively shapes their life with clear intention and goals. 31. The joy of leadership comes from seeing others achieve more than they thought they were capable of. Here's what that really means. The greatest satisfaction in leading is derived from witnessing and enabling your team members to surpass their own perceived limits and achieve greater accomplishments. 32. So goes the leader, so goes the culture. So goes the culture, so goes the company. This quote reminds us that the behavior and values of leadership directly shape the organizational culture, and in turn, that culture dictates the overall performance and character of the company. 33. For an employee to take responsibility, they must first be given it. Here's what that really means. Individuals can only truly assume accountability for their actions and outcomes if they are first empowered with the authority and discretion to act. 34. A community is a group of people who agree to grow together. This quote reminds us that a true community is defined by individuals who commit to mutual support and shared development, fostering collective progress rather than just coexistence. 35. The more people you inspire, the more people will inspire you. Here's what that really means. By motivating and uplifting others, you create a reciprocal dynamic where their achievements and energy will, in turn, serve as a source of inspiration for you. 36. A poor leader will tell you how many people work for them. A great leader will tell you how many people they work for. This quote reminds us that ineffective leaders emphasize their authority over subordinates, whereas great leaders understand their role is to serve and support their team members. 37. We achieve more when we chase the dream instead of the competition. Here's what that really means. Greater accomplishments result from pursuing a compelling vision or purpose rather than solely focusing on outperforming rivals, as the latter leads to reactive behavior. 38. Asking for help is an act of service. Don't deny the people who love you the honor of being there to support you. This quote reminds us that requesting assistance is not a weakness but an opportunity for others to express their care and support, offering them the valuable experience of helping someone they value. 39. It is the weak leader that compensates by acting strong. It is the strong leader that allows people to see when they are weak. Here's what that really means. Insecure leaders often project an image of invincibility, while truly powerful leaders are confident enough to show vulnerability and admit their limitations, fostering authenticity and trust. 40. We can contribute to a relationship, but we can't control a relationship. This quote reminds us that you have influence over your own input and effort in a relationship, but you cannot dictate or unilaterally manage the actions or feelings of the other person. 41. Leadership is not a license to do less. Leadership is a responsibility to do more. Here's what that really means. Being a leader is not about having privileges or less work, but rather about taking on greater accountability and putting in more effort for the benefit of others and the cause. 42. The next time someone starts listing all the reasons an idea can't work, ask them to give 3 reasons it can. This quote reminds us that when faced with negativity or obstacles, challenge others to shift their perspective and actively seek out possibilities and solutions, rather than just identifying problems. Thank you for spending this moment with the Mind Shelf. Let this quote stay with you, and may your day be filled with peace and purpose. If it stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Reflect, share, and let's grow together, one thought at a time. What does this quote mean to you? Share your thoughts below. Your words might inspire someone else today. If you'd like more gentle wisdom and soulful reflections, Don't forget to subscribe and join our growing mindful community. And if you're watching this as you wind down, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and carry this wisdom into your dreams. Until next time, rest well.